Hello and welcome back to my channel. We are baking today. We're making macarons, and I have made macarons before. You can see it on my Instagram, but this time there's this one account on Instagram. They are a macaron shop in LA, and they make like really cool characters. You can check it out right here, I guess. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, and I guess I just want to try it for myself because they look really cool. And so today we're making Tata from BT21. I have the recipe here. Almond flour, regular sugar, powdered sugar, and eggs. 2 eggs. So for the shell, all we need are these simple ingredients. And since we'll be making Tata, we'll also need black for the facial features. Gel's better for macarons. And we'll also need a lot of red and some yellow. Now we measure them out. My scale. To save water, I start off by measuring out the powdered sugar and the almond flour into a blender, and then we blend it up, and then we sift them. It takes a while. A lot of the tutorials on the macarons would use the food processor, which works just as well, I guess, but I just prefer to use this because that's what I've been using. I would use the powdered sugar on the bottom just so it doesn't get all pasty with the almond flour. Okay, so now we go to the blender. Don't blend for too long, because if you blend for too long, your almond flour will turn into almond butter, and then you can't sift it through the sift, and that would be a problem. Now get your finest sift. This is my finest sift. And then, let's not roll off the counter. In a big bowl, just put your sift in the bowl and get all this Okay, and then we sift. Okay, when you sifted most of it, you're gonna get these clumps here. So I would just take a spoon and just like break them up. Okay, you're not gonna get all of it in, but once you have like 1 or 2 tablespoons left, you are done. And just throw them away. Woo. Now that that's done, we can set it aside and then work on our meringue. So for the meringues, you're gonna need egg whites and sugar. So we'll start with separating our eggs, and my measurement for eggs are kind of wonky, so I need like 1.5 egg whites, if that even makes sense. I'll separate it here and like slowly measure it out in the big mixing bowl. And then keep the egg yolks because we're gonna need it later. So we got the egg whites in here. And then we're gonna need sugar. Hello, say hello to my stand mixer. I'll turn it on low for now. And once you start seeing bubbles form, you can slowly add in your sugar. A little bit, because you don't want to deflate the bubbles again. So, yeah. And then, once all your sugar's in, you can use a rubber spatula and just scrape down the sides and then keep whisking until you get to soft peaks. And if you're doing only one color, you can add the food coloring in while you beat the meringue just to save time. And that's it. Soft peaks. Welcome back to the flour mixture. Next step is to get all the meringue that we just made into the almond flour mixture. Okay, now comes the trickiest part. This is the trickiest part of making a macaron. It is called the maroonage stage, and you're basically scraping the sides of the bowl and then deflating your meringue. And you don't want to undermix or else bad stuff will happen, and you don't want to overmix because bad stuff will happen. So once I get there I'll show you, but just keep going. Okay, so because I'm making separate colors, once everything is well combined, I'm gonna split off a little bit to put with yellow here, and then a little bit for black. Would it work? I have no idea, so we'll just go with it. And I'm gonna cover these two bowls just so it doesn't dry out on me. Now's the time to add your food coloring. I'm gonna add a lot because I kind of want it to look like, well, Tata. And I'm just gonna break it up a little bit with some of the mixture so I don't overmix, trying to get the colors, if that even makes any sense. And now we mix. It's basically done. Look, it flows like a lava. It actually looks like lava now. But it also holds its shape once it hits the rest of the mixture. And that's when it is good. Now we put it in the piping bag. A tip to filling up your bag, you can use a tall cup, and it's basically your hands. And I'm just going to twist it up so that it doesn't dry out. And then now we do it the same thing to yellow and black. Say hi to Tata. I printed out these Tata headshots, and they're my guide to how I'm supposed to pipe them. And for the other side, because we want them to sandwich together, I'm just going to draw Tata's shape on the other side. So that's my guide to my macarons. Now I take a piece of parchment paper and lay it over my tatas. This is my setup. And now we can pipe, which is the most scary part of this whole experience. Now I take the paper out so it doesn't burn in the oven. And one big step of macarooning is tapping it on the counter. This releases the air bubbles that are trapped, and it prevents it from cracking, so I hope it doesn't crack. Oh no, I'm so scared. Mommy, do you want to see?
See what?
My tatas. Yay! And now we bake. I am setting my oven to 285 because it's supposed to be at 300, but this oven is special and it overheats, and so I'm doing it 285 for 16, probably longer, minutes. Bye-bye. We're lemon picking. No lemons. Wait. We'll just use 2. And so while we let that cool, we can start making our compote. And I mean, not compote, curd. So blueberries in. I have lemon juice and lemon zest. And I'm gonna add some sugar. Totally eyeballed it. And then we can cook. And yes, we'll need the egg yolks later. I'm just cooking down the blueberries so it gets mushy, and then we can squish the juice out. And then I'm adding a little bit of flour so that the curd thickens up. I'm cooking this at around medium-high-ish heat. After a while, the berries will get really soft, so you can just squish them, and then the juice will come out. Okay, turn down the heat so that it's not that hot when we add the egg yolks. Now I'm going to add the egg yolks and keep stirring so that it doesn't cook. And now I'm going to return it to the heat. I think it's done. Boop! Ah, my finger. And so on the side you have a sift and a bowl, and this is just to sift out any eggs that got cooked and the skins of the blueberries. Don't forget to wipe the bottom. Okay, now I'm gonna add in some butter. Boop. And this is chilled butter, so it cools down the curd mixture. And just mix it in. Oh, and it also makes it like shiny. Now you would usually have a clean film and like touch the top so that when it cools down it doesn't form a layer on top. But I'm just gonna put it in a plastic bag because I'm gonna pipe it out anyways. And then I'm gonna put this in the fridge until it cools. The feet turned out kind of wonky. I mean, they all have feet, just like some of them are weird looking. Okay, now that our macaron shells are cooled, I take the whole sheet and then flip it over, and then they peel right off. And then now it's time to play matchmaker. When they're circles, they're easier to match because you can just kind of like feel them and be like, oh yeah, that's good. And for these hearts, there's a back side and a front side to it, so I kind of have to like match them up this way. Kind of want like good ones and then like bad ones, so yay. And then I line them up both face down. And then the tip is to press down the insides so that there's a little crevice so you can fill more, because no one's gonna look at the inside like this, so you can have more filling. Wow, this curd is watery. Oopsie daisy. Oh, sure. Definitely too watery. So, bad news, my curd got a little watery. The last step is to sandwich them. Just like that. I should have just left the curd in the fridge for longer. I'm such a disappointment. Ah, that's so cute. Ta-da! These are my pageant winners. They're the ones that looked okay. Bye-bye! See you next time! The uglies. How is it? Very good. Say, 好难吃哦. And then I'll caption it. Oh, so good.
Drippy. Is it? What flavor?
Do you not like it? I'll test 1, 2.